Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host Heidi because Shae needed a break. I was voting it up.
Oh, you're looking so good, and yet I don't know how good you look too at the same time. It's amazing. I can only let my imagination run wild. Thing of beauty.
Exactly. And I am here with the super amazing Monster. How are you doing, Mr. Von Klaus?
I am rolling. Life is good. Comic books are good. Love making books and selling them. And we're doing great, man. And yeah, thanks for having me on, though. It's great to be back on and to not see you again. It's awesome.
I love not being seen by you. It makes me so very happy.
Feel seen or not seen.
It makes me feel like I matter.
You do.
Alas, I don't even know how to take you right now, so I'm just gonna move on to Rotten. Thank you, Rotten. I appreciate. I try to be awesome. This took a lot and then not any effort at all, so that was entertaining.
Every day, awesome. Go for it. You guys can do it.
That's it's my motto, and it's because of Vaughn. So there we go. Aw, you're so sweet. Okay, so.
I love it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, but you're probably looking at a future Heidi costume for something, maybe like a Monsters Ball, something fun like that. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm loving that idea. A lady does not share her secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally did not paint myself green, although I could have, but no.
We have the technology.
We do. I found a better way than painting myself green.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot more warm. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over your campaign again for anyone who doesn't know and has been hiding under a rock. But if you have talked to me in the history of ever, since I heard about this, I have been one of Vaughn's biggest fans because Monster M.D looks that fucking good. It is such an amazing concept, such awesome characters. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I think Heidi is the coolest. I don't really know why. I just really...
Yeah. Well, wait till you read her backstory because we finished that recently too. That's pretty kick-ass.
Dude, she's amazing. So, for people who've been hiding under a rock, let's real quick go over your pitch and see why they should back it and stop being dumb.
Yeah, you guys got to stop being dumb because Monster M.D is probably one of the coolest, most original and well-done indie comics you're going to find out there about a doctor to the local monsters who wants out. But when his cute and absolutely undeniably adorable surgical assistant Heidi gets kidnapped, he rethinks abandoning the monsters that need him. In fact, he has to use them to help win her back and save the day. He's going up against the masked madman who ruined his life back when he was trying to be a doctor to humans. He was a surgical prodigy. Everything was going great. He was kind of a rebel. Let's be honest. Wyatt kind of has that in him. But his rebelliousness is what kind of made him unique and do well and soar above the others. But then some crazy cuts his arm off and basically kind of frames him for a lot of missing bodies in the morgue. And Wyatt, his whole life as a human, so to speak, is over. His surgical career is over. No medical school will have him. And he has to rebuild. And he ends up meeting a monster who essentially helps him get back on his feet. And he becomes a doctor to the monsters that they've never had before. So he's kind of an interesting middleman between us and the things that go bump in the night. And from there, he ends up
bedside manner.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing bedside manner. I'm sorry, I can't. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, and he's kind of a crazy guy. I mean, he's one of those brilliant crazy guys. He's definitely witty. He uses his brain to overcome problems, but he uses his fists. I like to say he uses wits in his fists. And you're going to see that a lot throughout this story. It's a great opener story, I think. You get 114 pages plus Heidi's bonus story where you get to see her before she became invisible and how it happened, which is rather tragic. Rather tragic.
Aww.
I don't like to think that becoming a monster is like a walk in the park, man. I like to think it's a tragedy. Wait, it's like an Orange Is the New Black when they flash back to their lives before prison and how they ended up getting arrested. It's like that. They might have the most normal life ever, or even a very pious one, and then all of a sudden, hell breaks loose. Right? You end up becoming something you never expected, and everything changes. And Wyatt in this first book, you see Wyatt's backstory a little bit. And his first encounter with a monster and what kind of set him on the path to becoming their doctor too. So it's, but other than that, we don't dwell in flashbacks. We tell a really good story, great pace, great action, a lot of hilarious bits, and a lot of horror. It's mostly funny, but I mean, when I hit with the horror, like really want to hit you, it gets pretty freaky, guys. So I'm really proud of it, man. Our team just nailed it. Marco McCagney is our artist. He's an artist. You'll see him do stuff from Action Labs, which you might find on the shelves at your local comic book shop. And then we have the very underrated and beloved Tanya Wicker from Russia, who has been just killing it on colors. And when I'd worked with her before on another version of Monster MD, when I combined her with Marco, I mean, as you can see, it speaks for itself. It's magic. So. Yeah,
that's one thing that I really love about Tanya's colors with Marco's lines is so Marco basically draws the most ridiculous shit imaginable.
Yeah.
Just to be hilarious, like this little fucking bumper sticker of the little ghost saying "boo." Like it's just like the tiniest fucking details.
Okay, well, when it comes to those details, that's me.
Oh, I love your details.
I before I consider a page finished. I know this is very atypical, but this is the way I like to create. Before I consider it finished, I put in details to kind of flesh out the world and just bring you into the pages more, so you can spot those things and enjoy them as a viewer. And it also, it enhances the craziness and just kind of how wild and fun I want this to be. So the graffiti you'll see, or the little gauges, the bumper sticker that says ADHD, the little ghost with 2 thumbs down saying boo. This is all my doing. This is me just adding my own little flavor to it.
I agree with Elaz. You need to make that bumper sticker like a tier or a stretch goal or something, because that is bad fucking ass. I would totally have it. Make it like a car magnet. I don't know, something.
Okay, that's a great idea. I like that.
This is why we do what we do.
That's why we jam.
We band together and we're like, yo, that needs to happen. And then, Vaughn is awesome and he makes it happen. So getting back to like the way that Marco draws everything is just insane and endearing, but like it still holds weight and it still has like importance behind it. It's not all like cute chibi and it's not all super serious and whatever. It's this like perfect little line. And then Tanya's colors on top of it just it's like they were always meant to work together. They were always meant to be this team. And with your story, it is one of the most perfect teams I think I've seen put together, and I love it.
Thanks so much. Cool. Yeah, I lucked out. I mean, I made another version of Monster MD, and that's where I developed this whole like I need to make the art better, because I was working with an artist. It was much more indie, much more kind of just grimy free web comic, but I was adding all the stickers and all these details, and the artist loved it. He was like, you make my art better. Then Tanya colored it, and he was like, Tanya makes my art better. And so when I saw Marco's art for the first time, I was like, I saw him capturing monsters in a way that was both horrific and he could make them cute. And he could capture the comedy. And I said, yeah, this is the guy who I would dream would work on Monster MD, is what I told myself. And then I asked him one day, and I was, to my shock, the guy said yes. And I went, okay, let's start this. And when I paired him with Tanya, and he first saw Tanya's colors, he was like, this is the best colors I've ever seen on my work. So I knew I had something special here. But the big decision back then was, do I try to make this comic again from square one, and do it all over and pay all this money and spend all this time? Or do I, move on? Because I remember the original artist on Monster MD, he left me with about 5 pages that were unfinished. And he took my money and he ran, and it was just a horrible feeling. I felt very screwed over for obvious reasons. Yeah. And I felt like maybe I just need to move on from Monster MD, do another project. What should I do? I'm always moving on with other ideas and projects, but I knew if I had Marco and Tanya as a team, we could do something special, and it has paid off. I'm really proud of this book.
This is probably one of the best looking books that I think I've seen come out of the indie scene. And and just like you were saying, where like he's got kind of a cute face right here, but like this is kind of horrifying, and then this is fucking hilarious.
The running from him, like
the face on him where he's like, oh fucking shit, what did I do? And he's trying to get away, right? But then you see you see all of this shit, like this right here, that's actually horrifying.
Yeah, and then it gets scary. It's got that Ghostbusters charm where like 1 minute you're laughing and the next you're going, I'm a little creeped out, It's very commercial. Yeah, Scott, I agree. I would say this hits a lot of the notes of marketability, from the title to the art style to the type of story I'm telling. People can understand it immediately and it markets well. That's one ingredient that I don't mind putting in my books, but I also want to make sure they have a soul. Today's problems with our film and our art is we're submitting too much to the marketing and the corporate, and we're losing the soul along the way. And so with my work, I've always vowed that I'm not going to do that I'm always going to have a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of humanity mixed in with something that's very palatable and good for everyone. One thing I wanted to say about Marco's art too, what was it? That he captures the energy and the flow so well that I don't have to worry about describing action too much to him, even though I do like to get into it. He captures like, for instance, Dr. Black needs to be vulnerable. He can't just be a super badass. And he captures that in these scenes so well. Like, we need to see that his job is dangerous as hell,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Gosh, right here, it's so funny because it's like that dad touch kind of hug. Like it just goes so horribly wrong.
Yeah, just
so wrong.
It's just the giant ant that just always pulls you in extra tight around Thanksgiving, right? And you're like, whoa.
I just like that ant very much.
That ant needs to chill. More wine for you. But here's the thing. This scene actually wasn't in the original Monster MD, and I wrote this for this new revitalized version with Marco, this golem scene. So I'm really happy with how it came out.
Oh, just absolutely.
Added a lot more action and fun, and added the syringe poon, which I think is a very important part of any Monster Doctor's arsenal.
The best part about the syringe poon is that it is filled with poo.
This is true. And you're going to find out the poo-poon, which is just fun to say. You're going to find out why the poo-poon had to be used on this golem in a scientific way, guys, kids at home. So, you're going to learn.
Yeah, we don't just tell good stories here with Monster MD. We learn.
We educate everyone.
We want everybody to be smarter.
But yeah, it ended up being like it's they had to use a fertilizer solution, and that's part of what I think. When you watch Breaking Bad, what draws people in is how this nerdy guy uses science to overcome hardcore like life and death drug deal situations. And in Monster MD, he has to use his wits and science to overcome monstrous and horrific stuff too. So, and I've always just liked stuff like that. So it just seemed to work for making him more than just a guy who beats people down like a typical hero. He has to use his head a bit and improvise. So with the poo-poon.
Yeah. With the poo-poon. Because who doesn't need a poo-poon? I'm just saying. Another thing that I loved is, so in this little like mini flashback that he's having, right?
Yeah.
The way that he he got her eye to be so creepy, and then Tanya legit makes that look like it's glazed over.
Yeah.
Which is just shocking. But it really kind of, like, this little cut-in panel right here makes this so much more impactful, and it's simply because that's really disturbing. And when you come back around and you see this, you thought that was bad, and then this happens, and it's so much worse.
It's she's so good at coloring things that are both beautiful and disgusting at the same time. It's amazing. I hope she understands just how talented she really is. So yeah, she was, I mean, just combining her with Marco has been just I mean, as you can see, gorgeous stuff. But yeah. Oh, you never saw that? I don't. I just kind of snuck that in.
It makes me like her all the more because, of course, she's hot. Why else would she be in a comic? Freaking duh. As you can tell, she's very hot.
She's easy to break the fourth wall with, you know?
Yeah.
She's just that much fun, you know? And so, yeah, lately we've been working on I've been working on the sketchbook Colorblind, and I had this amazing artist, Ryan Ontaro, who he's done a lot of trading cards for me and I think for Graveyard Shift, John Malin and all them, and he's done stuff for Eric Weathers' Flying Fortress, and he's such a good designer of that stuff. I asked him to help set up some pages for the sketchbook because I wanted the sketchbook to look like something that you'd find in Wyatt's lab that's all beat up and nasty and kind of gross even. And he did I gave him a lot of different, elements to use, and he did a great job. So I've been working on that. People have gotten really excited about that. So I've been selling those lately.
I can't wait.
It's great.
Do you have, are the pictures in the update?
Actually, yes, but I can share screen too if you'd like.
Either way, are your pictures better than what's in the update?
I think they're a lot of the same ones.
Well, that's
I have
the answer you're supposed to have.
I know.
Damn it, Vaughn.
Oh, I didn't get any more done today like I wanted. I'm going to have to do that after we're done, though.
We totally orchestrated this, I swear. Okay. This is amazing, and I love how you have like pictures of pills and stuff like that are like in there where it just looks like he threw it on top of his page.
Yep. There's your blueprint for the meat wagon. I've always wanted to see it like this, and I hadn't done this till recently, and it came out awesome. Wyatt and Heidi both drawn by Wyatt and checked by Heidi. You'll see in the bottom corner there. There's just you're going to find little details of fun in both the main book and the sketchbook. That's just the type of stuff I like to do. And then you're going to get cool notes for everything in this sketchbook learn more about the characters, about how I made this, because this is a big project, man. This thing has been in the works since like 2014, 2015. And I've done character designs. I've done multiple scripts. I've done, and I even did another comic version of it. So it's been quite a struggle to get this done, but I'm really happy with it. There's Skids, the little punk ass vampire kid that he and Wyatt go back and forth and talk trash to each other all the time and try to screw each other over in fun ways. So he's actually going to be making a cameo in the Shinobi Sasquatch versus Monster M.D. crossover.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know why. I just kind of like the little guy. We have him just in a red hoodie these days. So he looks a little more chill than the whole, full hood and cape. Yes, the cloak. But I still dig him. He's fun. He's a little punk. He's kind of how you think teenage vampires really should be instead of that Twilight stuff, Yeah,
I've never understood. Okay, you mentioned Twilight, so this is your fault.
It is.
I got forced into watching this after I was able to not watch it for so fucking long because someone I trusted that is no longer allowed to give me any recommendation for movies.
Ooh, ouch.
No more. No, not after this.
And how many did you watch?
I got through most of the first one and turned it off and said, I can't anymore. This is too bad. There is one specific scene. If you are a Twilight fan, I'm gonna need you to explain this bullshit to me. it's right before he goes to like hop through the treetops because I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, he's up a tree, she's on his back, and he's looking out, and she's looking out, and she's like, oh, the view's amazing kind of thing or whatever. And he goes, hold on tight, spider monkey. I fucking paused the movie. I paused the damn movie. And I turned and I was like, did I miss something at any point in time? Did he ever refer to her as a fucking spider monkey before now? And they go, no. And I was like, does he ever again? And they go, no. And I was like, what the fuck is this comment? This is not a cute pet name. Nobody does this.
No girl wants to be referred to as a spider monkey.
Right? From a woman's standpoint, I was offended at how bad that was. And the best part is the only defense that I've gotten from any of my friends who are like massively into Twilight, they go, well, that wasn't in the book. And I'm like, that makes it that much worse. Somebody in the movie industry went, you should call her a spider monkey. And that was a conscious decision to add into this fucking story.
I got a hint, Hollywood. Women don't like to be referred to as gangly mammals.
Especially not ones that throw feces at each other.
That's true. Yes. No fecal throwing pet names, please. Unless they actually threw poo at you. Until then.
Right. In which case, at least I earned the damn title. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like he did all the climbing.
Yeah. Right, exactly. I was like, what is it? Is it because she's hanging off of him like a spider monkey, or is it?
She didn't say anything. She just bites her lower lip.
She does. Oh my gosh! And I was like, I hate you. I hate everything.
It's my acting style.
And the whole scene where he like, I have to show you something, and he takes a half a step into the light, and I was like, the fuck is he showing her?
Yeah.
What happened? And they go, you don't see him glittering? I was like, you mean how he looks like he came home from a strip club? And I was like, is that what we're concerned about? Is that he glitters a little bit? Like, just don't get so close to like cupcake next time. You'll be fine.
You know, I took an awesome class in film school called what was it? It was the screenplay Vampires, and we had to write a feature-length vampire script before we got out of class. So we had to analyze everything, and we totally, of course, we talked about Twilight and about how, it was like, the evil, creepy, cheekboned elephant in the room, and we had to talk about like, how did this happen? We didn't talk about it like, oh, it was so cool. Everybody was just like, how did this happen? And what did my teacher say? He said something like, it has something to do with not as many people are really going to church anymore, and everyone's just kind of embracing vampires as sexy and superheroes instead of as horrific dead things. And that always stuck with me. But it made me make my vampires that much more horrific and barbaric in my script. So
I'm more a 30 Days of Night kind of vampire chick than
hell yeah,
glitter in the sun. But can stand in the sun, but just glitter in it if I do. Kind of.
Yeah. Just no thanks. And that's part of why Skids has to be the ultimate little punk ass, creepy little vampire. And
yes.
I will actually give you guys an update on something kind of cool. Monster M.D 2 is going to okay, there we go. There it is. Explosive. Monster M.D 2 is going to focus on vampires who have become addicted to a drug that you inject into humans before you feed on them, and it turns our blood blue, and it turns the vampires into like crazy meth heads who just can't stop slurping. So it's going to be an interesting story, and that's in development right now, and I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. It's badass, and vampires are going to be creepy and nasty again, like they should be. So.
And
no more Volvos or spider monkeys.
Thank goodness. I can't. Oh gosh, just please no more.
And so one of the fun things about doing the sketchbook is that I'm able to reflect back on all the work I've done over the years to make Monster M.D happen. And I found this first sketch of Wyatt's zombie arm that I ever did in a beat up old notebook. So of course this is going in towards the beginning of the sketchbook. And it's just been kind of a great lot of memories visualizing all this stuff again. Here was Wyatt back when I was compiling pieces of different characters to make my own. I can draw them, but I wanted to try, this out. I was doing digital stuff and just messing with it. So I made him Ryan Reynolds. I was visualizing him and hearing him as kind of a sarcastic Ryan Reynolds played character back then. So yeah, this was the first Wyatt. It was kind of it's kind of hilarious to look at. I mean, it's so goofy looking, but obviously he evolved kind of more into his own character over the years. Yeah. Those are my sketchbook pages so far.
It's just so cool, and it's such a neat idea the way that you decided to do it, where you're making it look like you actually are like physically like, here's the book, and like here's the book and any relevant shit that might be taped in it, or like you have the vials for your little dirt bag vampire dude and stuff. It's just so cool. It's just so neat to see.
Yeah, thank you. I've always loved books like that. I've always loved D&D manuals and things that have a lot of art that just draw you in. I think that's part of the fun. So I'm not surprised so many people have just jumped on this sketchbook immediately. If you've already backed, everybody, that's totally cool. You can message me through Indiegogo and I will send you a link to the sketchbook so I can add it to your order with no additional cost and shipping. So just drop me a line.
Highly recommend to do that, because that is what I have done. And Vaughn is badass. But yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's such a cool idea. It's such a neat way to do something, and it's a cool way to give people a behind the scenes that's a lot more personal, I guess, and a lot more unique than just, hey, I'm going to send you some stuff in like the back of the book that shows some of my sketches. Like, you took it and you made it a product. You made it its own thing. And that's so cool to see.
Thanks. Yeah. It's my first time ever doing this. So I was really nervous for a while. I'm like, am I going to be able to pull this off? And then when I finished the first pages, I was like, this is cool. Right? This is actually a really sweet sketchbook, man, that people are going to want to look at again. I'm actually
kind of okay at this.
Yeah. Did you ever get that pressed fairy book? Do you remember that when you were younger? You ever see that weird book? There was this weird book, and it was straight up like the drawings looked like someone who'd closed a book on different fairies on different pages and smashed these fairies. And then it had all these handwritten notes about these fairies and kind of it was really creepy and weird, but it was really popular. And all the pages look aged and water damaged and full of, fairy blood, all kinds of fun. But those books like that always were just so cool to me and weird. And made me want to, check them out. I remember when I was younger, that book was out and everyone was buying it. And I think that might have been an influence, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. It's, it's driving me nuts because that sounds vaguely familiar.
It was very popular back in the day. Yeah.
Apparently Scott knows what you're talking about.
It was cool. It was an influence for sure. It felt very handcrafted, even though it was just printed, and you were drawn into it almost immediately. So that's kind of what I'm going for with the sketchbook.
That's a very cool, it's a very cool kind of way to do it. Like I said, I saw the sketchbook part and I was like, am I going to make you refund me again so I can back again for like the third time? Cause money's a thing and other people seem to want it, and it sucks because I just want to kick it to all you guys. But
of course, man. Yeah, and bills and food, man, first, and then fun. Bills, food, then fun.
Yes.
I've been trying to keep up with all the books coming out lately too, and I've supported a lot, man. So I know the feeling.
There's a lot of really, really good creators out there. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go through your tiers because you have a couple of new ones since we had you on.
Tears.
Oh, sad face.
We do? Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I think you do. Maybe not. Well, you have more relevant ones because now you have the sketchbook and people know what that is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this you're gonna get the full 128-page Monster MD graphic novel and a colorblind or Monster MD official sketchbook called Colorblind for $50. And we've got 199 sold. I'm pretty proud of that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You guys got good taste.
Somebody go back that right now so we hit 200.
Please. That digital deluxe, you get the PDF, but I'm gonna give you a bonus. You're gonna get a PDF of the Colorblind sketchbook too. $18. That's for a lot of people have thanked me for that one because they couldn't handle the shipping overseas. So that's kind of a good solution if you still want to read the book.
It is.
Yeah. And then of course you got your signed comic. It's not just going to be signed by me. It's going to be signed by the amazing Eric Weathers, the guy who lettered the world, aka Comicsgate Books. And he's awesome. He's going to come down and visit. We're going to get tanked and we're going to sign books. So you guys are going to love it. 2 cigs.
Be there.
I know. It'd be fun, right? I could take you to some retro arcade 80s bar and get drunk and play video games all night. Sounds fun.
That sounds amazing. Gosh.
There's a badass t-shirt. It is actually really good looking. I need to get one for myself actually. But I've seen people in it and they look awesome. Back my own shirt maybe.
Wait, I have a question then.
Yes, in the back.
Does this ship now?
It doesn't ship now, but I will tell you something. Because we're still finishing up the book, I kind of want to send out everybody's t-shirt now.
I kind of want my t-shirt.
Okay.
I definitely, even if you don't send everyone's, you can send mine. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, it looks like you're showing a lot of skin there. You look cold. We're gonna need.
It's a little bit.
Oh wait, except you're hot because you're. Yeah.
You know what? You send me my t-shirt. We'll do this again. I'll be Heidi wearing the t-shirt.
That would be a thing of beauty. Sure.
It's gonna happen. I mean.
This shirt comes out looking really badass though. It's all pre-worn looking and just kind of heavy metal, and that's kind of one of my commandments, if you will, as a creator when it comes to making comics. I want to bring the rock and roll back. I want to make them fun again. I want to make them rebellious again and dangerous, full of energy and fun. And that's what we're missing, I think, in a lot of ways. Everybody that's kind of in the industry, those people, they're not dangerous, they're not fun, they're not breaking rules, they're just telling you the rules and wagging fingers and attacking people and a bunch of old fuddy-duddy stuff feminists that nobody takes seriously. And definitely no young person thinks is cool. So I don't know, man. We're gonna have to fix that up. We have next we have the signed comic and the Heidi poster, which is a gorgeous poster. It's done by Sashi, who has done a lot of people's pinups and stuff. I worked with her and made her draw so many different versions of this that I apologize to her. But she did a fantastic job anyway, capturing the pose I wanted and the type of clothes. I wanted those sheer kind of pantyhose you can kind of see through. Yeah, so scroll down.
If you haven't seen this, it's just so good. It's so well done. Right there.
Oh yeah, just a beautiful rendition. It takes me back to old school pinups while being Heidi.
And I love that you have her kiss and everything there. That's just so great.
Yeah, and I deleted the edge of it a little bit, like it's fading and disappearing because Heidi.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, also if you've ever tried, like if you are kissing a ton of posters and stuff, after a while it starts to.
How many posters have you kissed exactly?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
As a girl who has practiced trying to make a lip mark that looks like that and have it fail miserably, you can only do that about 2 or 3 times before it fades.
You have to reapply.
Yeah, and then it's just tiresome.
That's good to know. 2 times, guys. Dos kisses. Can't break the rules when there's nothing to break.
Very true.
Yeah, so that came out great. Everyone's going to be getting I think it's 11 by 17 size is what I'm going for that.
17.
So
fold out.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully get that printed along with everything else at the same place if I can, and it's going to be packaged in with your books. It's going to look beautiful.
It's going to be so good. I can't wait. Okay.
A lot of people have upgraded to the poster recently, which is really cool. I like that. We also have, of course, 2 signed books. Some people want to double up. And then we have the kind of the ultimate where you get it all. You get the comic book, the sketchbook, and the poster. I would say that's a pretty good bang for your buck thing for like the fan who really digs Monster MD. That would probably be a pretty good purchase right there.
For sure. And
then, yeah, if you want that t-shirt, you get the full dose. That's everything. And you get your name in the book in a thank you section. Other than that, you get a sweet shirt. Cool stuff. The 10 books, a lot of people asked me for these. So yeah, we sold 7 of them. I guess they're for comic book shops, which I'm totally happy to help support by giving them a discount. So 125 for 10. And you can supply those to your customers, man.
Or if you got 9 friends.
Yeah. Hand them out like
9
for Halloween.
Friends in Venmo. Let's do this shit.
Good call. The overdose is fun because you get it all, but you also get your name. You get 2 signed comics, 2 sketchbooks, 2 Heidi posters, and you get your name in the book. And I'm going to put your name on a grave. And we've drawn those scenes. The graves are just ready to rock. You would get to see your name on a grave that Heidi and Wyatt pass by in the book.
I am so sad I do not have 250 to just throw at this because that is so cool. Like I love all of these creators that are finding these like interesting ways to kind of put in people. Have you seen the book Wordsmith by SK?
I haven't.
So it's a really interesting one. He actually has this book that he's already got. He's from Australia, much like Rob Arnold, and they're actually good friends. He's got his book in libraries to try and help get kids more excited about reading.
Cool.
And so he's already doing awesome stuff. Well, randomly, he has drawn me into a background. Tattoo and all. I was impressed as hell.
Oh, that's great.
So great. So I was just like, oh, I'm in a book.
Good. It's about you deserve it. You should be in more books. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to get my hand turkeys in as many as I can. I did I do a hand turkey for you?
Yeah, you did a Heidi hand turkey that kicked ass. It's awesome.
She was disappearing in it. It was amazing.
Yeah. And then we have the monster dose. One person hopped on this. I didn't expect anyone to, but it's just a fun thing. You get your digital comic, 2 signed books, 2 signed sketchbooks, Heidi pinup poster, 2 of those, your t-shirt in black, and then you're going to get your name in the book, and you're going to get drawn in as a monster in the book who's literally partying with Heidi and Wyatt at the end. Towards the end. So
I want to be at that party.
I know. When you see the art for it, oh my God, it's so good. It's so funny. Heidi's topless,
Yes.
And it's like spitting her shirt over her head, and you can't see it. You just see all the monsters through her looking up at her like, oh my God. It's great.
It's probably amazing, everyone. I'm going to assume that she's like an
Yeah, just imagine E's flopping and smile, you creepy monsters, because it's fun stuff. So
oh my gosh, I love having you on, Vaughn. This is just hilarious.
I love coming on your show every time, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, those are my tiers, and then I'm probably going to I need to do an update on my campaign to show some more pages from the sketchbook. Maybe take out some of the black and white ones that are now colored these days and kind of update and evolve. So yeah, we'll make that happen. I'm just exhausted, I have to admit. I'm not, I'm working on all this stuff. I have my full-time job. And spring break's coming for that. And I've got a lot of Monster MD stuff going. I have other projects going too that I'm really excited about. So be ready, guys. The future is coming.
I am so excited for this. This is so cool. And so this is something that I was mentioning before. I have my basic training, puffer jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is covered in patches from my past units, past places I've been stationed, all that kind of stuff. It's just covered in patches, right?
Yeah.
I love this thing because it's warm as hell. I have decided I am getting a plain puffer jacket, and I am now going to do everything I can to fill it with CG indie comic patches, pins, all of that to represent y'all. And then when we finally do our first CG Comic-Con, my ass is gonna be there in that damn jacket, and I'm so excited because you have a patch.
Like a hero. Yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. And that patch came out badass. I cannot.
So cool.
Yeah, for me, I want stuff that looks cool. I want stuff that looks a little more rock and roll, a little more punk. Right. So that's the that's the type of products you're gonna get from Monster MD, and where people don't even think it's a comic. You know what I mean? They'll see that and be like, "What is this?" And you go, "Oh, it's Monster MD. It's a sweet book. You should check it out." That's pretty much the way I approach it. I just think it's more fun that way and looks cool.
Absolutely. Well, and the thing is this is such a cool image because it's still that nurse, like doctor, I'm taking care of everybody image, except that it's like fucking vipers and bat wings and pentagram at the top and like just. Yep, that is pretty fucking hardcore, and that bitch right here, Vaughn. That's where I'm putting it. It's gonna go right over my heart.
I love it. Yes,
yeah,
it's gonna look good. That was so much fun to design because I got to do the evil version of the typical medical logo that you see.
Yes,
and I grew up. My parents were doctors, so like I grew up seeing this stuff, and I'm like, oh, I get to draw inspiration, for my book for that, and. It's been fun, man. It's been fun finding out. I'm the type of guy that likes to make cool symbols for my heroes, like I can that then translate well into the marketing. So it's cool. Oh yeah, we're pretty close.
So I have a question for you.
Oh yes, you in the back.
You said the one that I can't see.
The one that I can't see.
So did you stop your stretch goals here when you closed the campaign?
I don't think so. I think I had other ones.
So I
haven't updated them.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask because you have a 60K one and you literally said, just you wait and see. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Hold up. What did you say? Yeah. Just you wait. Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Hey.
And we did, and we reached it and I added it. It's the trading card.
There we go. Okay.
Drawn by Mr. John Malin. It's Wyatt hanging out with a werewolf. Here, let me see.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, is this happening?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So I got. Ooh yeah. So I've got my goodie bag that everyone's getting here.
Oh my gosh.
A little tester here.
That patch is lit. That is huge.
Yeah, that's a 3.5, I think.
Hell yeah.
You got your button
good
too.
Size.
Yeah, that's gonna look beautiful over your heart.
It is right where it belongs.
Right where it belongs. Right where it. So we have a John Malin trading card.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah, and Tanya Wicker colored it, so she made it all spooky and brilliant and beautiful.
Oh,
and
awesome.
And then the back is all, instead of it just being like typical trading card stuff, it looks like a clipboard and it's like a medical chart for the werewolf character named Fritz.
That is so cool.
It's hilarious. And when this guy did this card for me, I was like, we need to do the sketchbook. We need to make it like this. We need to make it this raw, beat up old paper and hilarious notes and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, this is everyone's going to be getting one of these babies. Nice glossy card.
So cool.
Nice thick stock.
It's super thick. That looks great.
Yeah, it came out beautiful. I'm really happy with it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, this is just the freebies you guys get when you get your copy. So
that's not even
got a sweet bookmark.
That's not even all the other stuff. Oh man, that bookmark's cool too. Oh, you did all the eyes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. The different eyes you see throughout the book, and then we've got Wyatt at the bottom, like kind of pensive and
smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
That's what you do. Oh man, that is so cool.
And then you flip it, and it's an advertisement for a monster doctor. Hurt while at play, bundle of hell on the way. Call your local monster doctor today.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. Vaughn, your creativity is amazing.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, I've had a lot of experience that's gotten me to where I am. I went to school for design and art history. Well, first I went to medical school, or I was in pre-med, and I was drawing Batman and making comics and designing T-shirts for all the local campus organizations instead of working on my. Well, no, I still worked on my homework. I did well, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. My passion wasn't there, so I ended up going to a school for design and art history, and then from there, I ended up studying art and landscape painting in Italy under Daniel Lang. He's a renowned landscape painter who's amazing.
Wow.
And then and then from there, I was like, I don't think I want to worry about art school. I think I'm going to be a blue collar guy. So I worked in a factory for a little bit, ended up not really digging that. I just wanted to make art all the time. And working in a factory just was, exhausting. So I ended up moving to Austin and I opened up a cosplay store. And that taught me a lot about marketing, making cool stuff that people love. And we sold out everything all the time. We did a kind of my girlfriend and I back then ran the store from our house. We learned how to, build the website, market the hell out of it, make it something people wanted. We made tons of money, but then I was writing screenplays and making comic books still. Throughout my whole life, since I was 8 years old, I've been making comic books off and on. So
that is so cool. I
ended up going to film school in Chicago and learning the art of storytelling and all that stuff. So all these things I've done have led up to this, they've prepared me for this, if you will. So
that is, dude, like, okay, so one of the things that I want to do when I eventually have time and don't work like 5 million jobs for 1,000 hours a week.
Geez, yeah.
Seriously, I think 2 weeks ago it was 86 hours, and I still streamed. Boom, hardcore.
Hell yeah.
Fucking rock and roll back in comics. I also passed out and don't remember when I woke up. So, so don't do that. Don't be like me. Anyway, one of the things that I really wanted to do, because a lot of people see a lot of creators' books, right? They see your books, they see your product, and that's all that they have to kind of judge you by. I really want to start doing creator spotlights, and I want to do creator spotlights where we don't even fucking talk about half of the shit. Like, yeah, we'll talk about your background, how you got there, and then I'm going to ask you, if you were a candy bar, what kind of candy bar would you be and why?
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. Or the one of my favorite questions that happens every time we get somebody new on my flight. What would somebody who hates you say about you?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm gonna ask you that right now, Vaughn. What would somebody who hates you say about you? How would they describe you?
The haters?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard they've. Let me think about. I've had my own family try to keep me from dating certain chicks and tell those chicks bad things about me, but I don't think they hate me. But
No.
I've definitely heard from these chicks, like, they said this and this about you. Let me think. I would say that I'm a little too wild. Like, I'm a little too out there sometimes. That sounds too nice. That's not what a hater would say. That's like polite.
Well, here, I can give you an example.
I don't know, asshole, dickhead, what? Okay, give me an example.
For Shae, what the haters would say, there's 3 things. She's a thought would be one of the first things, because I'm a girl on the internet, so we're all thoughts, doesn't matter what we do.
Right, right.
People who don't know me from internet,
right,
they would probably say that I'm loud and obnoxious and super bitchy. Because I say what the fuck I'm thinking, and if you don't like it, I don't really give a shit. Yeah. And maybe that I'm a little nosy. So,
nosy? Okay.
Yeah, I like to know things, but and genuinely, if I could defend the nosiness a little, I genuinely, if I ask you if you're doing okay, it's because I actually care. So I don't ask people I don't care about if they're doing okay.
I gotta be honest, I've had a lot of people just say I'm crazy. But I'm kind of used to it. I'm used to it. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, I'm wild. I'm crazy. Yeah. And I can tell that's not for everyone. So, yeah, people who don't like me are going to be like, yeah, that guy's crazy. He's a loony. Yeah.
I think the reason you and I get along so well is because we're both insane. And it's crazy likes crazy. It's easier this way.
Good company. No doubt. So,
absolutely.
I can't think of anything else. Yeah. It's usually nobody's has that much else to say when they're, for being dicks.
So I've noticed that people love to say stuff behind your back, but most people will not say anything in front of you, that's not. Yeah. I take the NF stance on that. If I wouldn't say it to your face, I don't say it behind your back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Huh. Well.
Anyway, that's on a totally different tangent. I just thought it was interesting. So, any other super cool, awesome news that you got going?
Well, I've got another project that I finished the script for, and my editor went through it, and he said that it's one of the best dark superhero things he's ever read.
Nice.
And it's 200 pages long. So, I'm trying to figure out in my schedule when I can do it, because I want to give people more Monster M.D. first. But then I want to move on to doing Black Terror, which would be titled, my title for it, of course, is Terror in the Trenches, because I can't, Dynamite Comics owns the title of Black Terror. I can't use that as a title. But I can make up whatever title I want and use the character. He's free to use. He's public domain. So I've done my own dark, evil Vaughn version of him. And guys, I got to tell you, it's one of the best things I've ever written. I had too much fun writing it. That's why I was able to, while working on Monster M.D., I was able to churn out a 200-page book. It is kind of, you could call it my ode to dark Avenger stories that I grew up loving, like Wolverine and Punisher and stuff like that. I always liked those dark, gritty Avenger heroes that are kind of walking the line between good guy and bad guy. And I turned Black Terror into that in spades. And I just fell in love with the character and the script and ended up creating all these amazing characters. So I will say Marco fell in love with my script, or at least what he's seen so far. And he wants to at least start character designs on it. So that book is in the works. And I don't know when we're going to, launch and everything. You guys definitely will find out before. But we're gonna make a book called Terror in the Trenches someday. It might have to be split into a few parts, a few campaigns to finish 200 pages, because Marco's rates have gone up since Monster M.D. He's done really well for himself, an amazing artist. Also, I just want to take a minute really quick to tell us all to send positive, happy wishes and thoughts to Marco. We love him, and his little town in Italy is dealing with coronavirus, and it might be put on full quarantine. So let's
everybody right now to whatever being you believe in. Come on,
whatever deity that because we can't lose Marco, and I hope his town is okay, and I hope he's not drawing comics in a hazmat suit right now, or maybe he should be. I don't know. But that's
a scenario. Maybe we go fund him like a really good respirator or something, and just
yeah, a lot of hand sanitizer to walk around, slather himself in. I want to make sure he's okay. I hope he's all right. He said there might be some bumps in his schedule because of it, for obvious reasons. I mean, if you can't, I think he said something about his grocery store even being put on lockdown, and I'm just going, oh my God, this poor guy. So everybody, let's pull for Marco. But Marco wants to do the Black Terror thing. He also says he's down for more Monster M.D. because he's absolutely in love with it too. So
I mean, how could you not be, though? The thing is I don't fully understand how you did it, but you created these characters that are just you instantly adore them, and it doesn't even I haven't even read the damn book. I've read 5 pages of it that you gave me a preview to, and I'm like, yep, I'm on board. I love all of them. They're great. They're
I lucked out. I grew up on great 80s horror and a mixture of horror and comedy that kind of blew up in the 80s. You had things like Fright Night. You had Ghostbusters. You had Lost Boys. I had Monster Squad. These things made comedy and horror such a delicious recipe that it just felt natural to do Monster M.D. this way, to where, to be honest, I felt like I was on autopilot while I was making it, which to me was just really fun as a writer whenever you're not banging your head against your keyboard the whole time. And instead, it all just feels like something that's already there, kind of whispering to you what to write and what the characters would say. You could hear it. You can see it. It worked out well. Everything fell into place with Monster M.D. I didn't have to make huge changes even when I started the book over. He always had the meat wagon. The lab on wheels was always an obvious choice. Heidi had to be the cute invisible assistant. That was too good to pass up.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like one of those things where all your ideas for it, make you smile.
Yes.
So you're just like, yeah, I know this is the way to go.
Exactly.
The road was paved for me by greats who made great movies and comics in the 80s,
For sure. And oh gosh, it's so nice to see a book that really just looks like it's going to be a really fun time and not something that we've got to worry is either going to stagnate or maybe the writing isn't going to be quite where it needs to be, and the second, third book will be better, or like this book out the gate is going to be so badass. I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
Thanks. Yeah, and I also am proud of the fact that you're getting a full story. You're not just getting part, because I'm crazy, like we've established, and I'm doing a super huge book. And then another book on top of that, and another. So it's crazy. I'm probably gonna try to avoid doing something as big as that in the future, but I still love giving people a full story. Whenever I'm backing stuff, I know I appreciate getting a full story for my $25 worth. So
oh yeah,
good stuff.
Well, especially because if you never know what's gonna happen, like what happens if your car breaks down and now they've got book 2 out and you're like, well shit, I was all on board and now I can't. Yeah, like I can't get book 2. I'm gonna have a gap in the whole thing. It's just a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not that I wouldn't separate a book. Like I'm probably gonna have to separate Black Terror, but it's such a satisfying feeling to give people a full story like this and to hear what they think later. I cannot wait.
All right, we have a question from Paragon. So everything I've seen about Monster M.D. looks awesome. That Mayhem shirt always catches my attention. Is there any significant behind the nod to the band?
Well, beyond the nod to the band, yeah, it's a character trait for Wyatt. I mean, he deals in mayhem in a lot of ways, even though he's trying to help. His world is very chaotic and full of violence, and he has to be very careful. So that band logo and just the band name and just for the band's history for being known to be one of the more crazy, dangerous inventors of black metal, they just were like a perfect fit. Whenever I first threw the logo on Wyatt's shirt, that was the first and only logo I had ever thrown on his shirt when I was designing the character, and it stayed there. So, like I said, things just fit with Monster M.D. Everything I did just worked. So
it's so nice to see everything just kind of come together like that. And honestly, I always forget that he's got like the Mayhem shirt on, but it's so funny. There was a specific panel when you were talking about like sometimes it's serious and sometimes it's not and all that. And it's this right here where you see him and it's like he's looking super ready. He's about to gas this dude and so he can do the operation and everything. And you're like, he's a little bit of a rebel. I was like, the fuck kind of surgeon?
Yeah,
is going into surgery dressed like this.
Yeah.
And then all this shit happens and it's hilarious.
Yep. I mean, one of the things that appealed to me about the idea was approaching it as if he were like a mafia doctor, where the doctors for the mob have to work in these dingy, gross conditions, and like they don't necessarily have to be wearing the best coat and clothes. They just make it work. So
sanitary is a suggestion.
Exactly. It's an idea we like, but we can't always get there.
Strive for, but Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really fun to just be like, no, Wyatt's a strung out, tired dude who needs his sleep. That people I think are going to be able to relate to, actually. Yeah, and so he needs to, and also I can make it look more rock and roll with that Mayhem. A lot of people have pointed that out, that Mayhem shirt out, and they dig it. So happy for
that. So Comic Book Scrapyard wants to know, what would be your dream comic in terms of already existing properties?
Ooh, good question. Because the kid in me immediately speaking up, and I hear him, and he's saying he wants me to do Wolverine and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool, but with my style that I've been developing, the Vaughn style, which is, wit and humor meets dark, archaic, and fun surprises and good action, stuff like that. I wouldn't mind taking a shot at Hellblazer. Wouldn't mind taking a shot at some of the darker heroes in Marvel or DC, really. Anything I can that you will let me add my own little Dark Vaughn spin to it. But also, I got to say, Black Terror, I just made happen, and it is a dream to have turned him into a more badass hero, because I don't think he gets what he deserves as when it comes to writers and stories. I think he could be way cooler, and my story does that 100%. Awesome. So, yeah, came out beautiful.
So we have I'm going to go out of order for this. We have a very important question that matters to all of the backers out there.
Oh, cool.
Are you a butt or a boob guy?
I'm a butt guy. I like butt. I love boobs. Like, boobs are gorgeous, man. But your butt, like, I mean, when I see that thing bouncing up and down on top of me, I mean, like, I'm happy. Like, that's a beautiful thing. And when women walk, the way you guys have those hips that kind of shift whenever you got that shift that you don't even know what you're doing. You're just doing it. Like, it kills me. Your butts kill me.
You know, the best part is if you go to one of those rip-off modeling schools that you should never go to because they're rip-offs, and I'm not speaking from experience in the slightest, if you go to that, they teach you how to walk to accentuate that.
Of course, to give you the sway,
and it's fantastic because you literally put one foot directly in front of the other.
That's it. That's the trick.
That's it. And then your hips go.
Mother Nature is a beautiful thing, and when girls do that, I'm just like I become hypnotized, man. It's Joe. it's butts are beautiful things, man. And I think they're kind of became more popular these days because aren't a lot of ladies in the gym just squatting it up? Oh yeah, working on those butts. Yeah.
Well, so for a long time it was everybody has to have the twig skinny little ab section, and then I feel like as a gender we all said, this is like fucking impossible to keep up and really annoying. And then somebody showed up and had like that ass though. We were like, but wait, I could do that because I can still have cake and do that. Cake helps aid that. I'm gonna go that way.
Hell yeah. Well played.
It's, you know what? My gosh. We started talking about boobs and butt and all of a sudden we're at 13 fucking viewers. What the hell?
What? I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's good. I'm saying what I'm saying is, dude, I said it like 4. Like we like never got. we get the replay action, but hey, I got rock and rolls. Indie comics most rock and roll person out here, and I am a little bit boudoir-y.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anyone is able to see.
It's you pulled it off well. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I love the little hat. That's just floating.
Yes.
It's hysterical, man. And it would look good in a comic. I think Heidi's gonna have to show up in a little Shae inspired gown at some point.
That's super exciting.
Yeah. Especially if we're dealing with vampires. It would be hilarious if Wyatt dresses like one way and then Heidi overdresses like kind of like gothic, like totally cheesy, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Gotta look good for the vamps,"
So what's hilarious is like this piece was for a vamp cosplay that I never ended up doing.
Oh wow, it looks it, yeah.
Doesn't it? Cool. It's like perfect for it. I'm just saying.
It really is. Cool.
All right. I'm going to ask the chat one more time. You got any more questions for our main man, the Vonster? I'm going to need you to get those put into that chat so we can talk about them. What else you got, Vaughn? You always got stuff.
I do. I've got this lovely crossover book. Sharing. Are you able to hit a button for that? Or so Marco, I wrote the script to this, and of course Cal Jamison, the incredible creator of Shinobi Sasquatch, was the overseer, and Marco recently finished the art, and so we're going to finish this book up very soon once Eric Weathers and I get down to the letters. So
Oh
this
my gosh, is Heidi trying to be sneaky? Wait.
So
she looks like the fucking Hamburglar.
She does kind of. She looks like a she looks a little like a criminal, like burglary type. So she's camping in the woods with him, and this is her little camping outfit.
Aww,
and
so cute.
Yeah, so Shinobi Sasquatch is running from this horrific demon guy, and he doesn't know why this guy's after him, but he's hit him with this living weapon that kind of drilled itself into his muscle, into his flesh, and is sucking away at his blood. And you see the tentacles sticking out there. And Shinobi knows he's kind of in trouble. This is not a good situation. And then we have Heidi and Wyatt camping, and Heidi's hanging up these protective herbs to keep monsters at bay because they need a break.
Right?
They need to be alone. They need to enjoy their camping trip. And then boom, a gigantic Sasquatch goes headfirst into their tent and ruins the trip. And Wyatt is pissed, and Heidi just thinks it's the most adorable thing in the world that a blue Sasquatch has landed in their campsite.
Holy fuck! I knew I loved Heidi. Oh my god!
I know, right? She's like, "Oh my god, we got a new patient, Dr. B."
Look how cute he is with the eyebrows.
I know. His eyebrows are so cool. The way, and when Marco draws them, they somehow get cooler. So Wyatt has to fend off this creature that was chasing him, and he opens up the side of the meat wagon. He's got all these lights, and he blinds the guy, and it sends him running. And Wyatt's like, "Yeah, eat it." And then Heidi starts going to work on our Sasquatch, but our Sasquatch attacks because whatever this thing is in him, it's filling him full of rage hormones and not making him think clearly. So we're gonna have a little brawl between these all three of them pretty much. Wyatt tries his lights, and Shino is not having it, and Ninja flings some needles and takes them all out. And Wyatt's like, "Oh my god, I have to go back to Home Depot for this." And Heidi's immediately on the syringe poon to try to knock him out, but they don't have any of the tranquilizers. So she tells Wyatt that she used all the whiskey, and he's really upset because that was their party juice for their trip. And she shoots it, and Shino makes short work of that, as you can see. He just ninjas through it like a badass, which Mark captured very beautifully. The eyebrow just keeps going and going. It's amazing. Yes. It's beautiful. It reminds me of Asian art, actually, the way it flows like a dragon's whisker, very cool. And then Wyatt's like, "Not the whiskey," he's pretty pissed. And the fight is on. Shino is messing up Wyatt in this. He's going more and more crazy from this creature that's kind of gnawing his side and won't leave him alone. Is filling him full of rage hormones. So that is actually what it does is it fills you full of hormones. You find out because Wyatt knows about these a little bit from his monster medicine training. Yes. But he says that these creatures are not from our world. So someone had to summon it, which is creepy. And you're going to find out more about that later, of course. But also that it fills you full of rage hormones so your heart pumps faster and then it can soak up more blood. So it's a more efficient parasite. But of course, while he's raging, he won't think about pulling it out of him. Instead, he's just going to try to beat up everyone around him. So he hurts Wyatt pretty bad here. And then he wolfs out because the rage has gotten to be too much. And so Shino is werewolfing out in this last page that I'm showing you guys. So yeah, it's a badass book. Everybody's getting it for free. If you back Shinobi Sasquatch or Monster M.D, you're going to be getting a copy of this.
Hell to the that is so badass.
Yeah, man, this was a fun script to write. I finished I don't know how many times I've repolished and redone Monster M.D over the years, but it's a lot. But when I finished it, I was having so much fun. I just couldn't wait to dive into this. So I asked Cal if I could just get it going and take point on this, and he said, "Sure, man, roll." So I did this. He oversaw it, and it came out just awesome. I mean, these characters work so well together, man. And Shino's just cool as hell. He's just awesome.
Shinobi Sasquatch was another one of my my must-backs. I had Shinobi Sasquatch and Oddity were at the very, very top of my list.
Beautiful monster choices. You have good taste.
I try.
Yeah.
All right. So we got another question. All right, we're gonna go past the really quick one. Here you go, Gargoyle.
Heidi Spit or Swallow. She swallows. She's nice. She's sweet.
She's a sweet girl.
She cares.
See,
She
he just
cares.
wants to know because he wants to know if he's gonna watch it.
Oh, I mean, not like that. But let me tell you guys something about Heidi though. There's so many surprises that I have not revealed in Monster MD, and you're gonna see a lot of cool things when it comes to Heidi. So just be ready.
So excited. So excited. All right, and now on to a real question from Felix Haas. What is your next stretch goal? Do you have
I've been going back and forth. I've been leaning towards printing off a nice hard stock version of the box head version of Wyatt that comes with a little cigarette and everything that awesome dude made. He's made a lot of them for a lot of different Comicsgate characters. I was thinking printing those off and just sliding those in with everyone's purchase, but I wasn't 100% on it yet. I will update you guys, and I'm going to think of something definite soon. It might be that. It might be something else. I've been wanting to do like cool little rubber miniatures of Heidi and Wyatt. You know, I've been thinking about all kinds of cool things I could do. So it's kind of an ever going, or at least lately when it comes to the stretch goals, I've been trying to figure out what would be the coolest thing I can do that I can also fit in the packages for everyone. So yeah, I will update you on that, Felix.
That is super awesome. And Alas feels that Gargoyle is asking the tough questions the mainstream media is afraid to ask. That is what we do here. True. We don't shy away from questions, no matter how much they make me hang my head in shame.
No, it's all good, man. These are great questions. My favorite one is like, when Heidi poops, is it invisible?
Well, I don't see how it could be when she smokes. It's not.
Yeah, but I can't.
Poop does come from her.
Right, and when she cries, is it visible then? What about other bodily fluids, waste materials, whatever? So I was thinking anything that her body produces becomes invisible from the
you know what?
The
I think
cells,
Otherwise, you would be able to see if she was running around naked. You'd be able to see it all around inside of her.
You'd be like, Heidi, you need to drop a deuce. You look awful.
Heidi, you look a little backed up. When's the last time you had some prunes?
Yeah. So it's like, that would just be a weird thing to have to work into every story. So I'm not going to do it.
I think that you went the safe and logical route. Is everything is just invisible that her body produces. Things that her body doesn't produce. Yeah. Is a different story.
Because I mean, we are always producing new cells, new skin cells, new blood cells. That's what our bodies do. If that was happening, then those might be visible too. I'm just like going, no, man. Like Heidi's rules are her cellular structure is on a different wavelength of light, and whatever she produces will be invisible. Even blood. Yeah.
Right. Well, because otherwise you'd be seeing her blood the whole time.
Yep. No.
See?
But something artificial like smoke that's from the outside, you're going to see it fill up her tissues and outline it and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And that is still one of my favorite scenes, because you just see, like, he just looks confused as his cigarette flits away, and then you see lungs fill up, and you're like, yep, that's about right.
That was a fun scene. Yeah, I like that one. Really cool intro.
Yes, absolutely. So, honestly, Vaughn, like, just, your book is just so cool, man. I am so excited for this. And I hope you understand, every book that you create, I want you on Red Valkyrie. I want to talk about it for sure, because
hell yeah,
you're an awesome creator. You have an amazing team. You guys are doing some really badass shit, and it's just so exciting to see.
Thank you. And Shae, you're the type of fan that keeps us going. So thank you. Because when I make books like this, I'm like, I really hope an invisible woman and a bustier out there can really appreciate the time and the work and the the awesomeness that went into this. Oh, did you freeze? Oh no, she's frozen. Or am I like logging out? Oh no. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, every time my net drops, I swear, I apologize.
It's okay.
Continue with what you were saying.
I was just basically saying you keep us alive. You keep us making stuff and stuff. I'm really hoping to please all my fans and people who just have that that sense of taste that you have. So thank you so much.
Aw.
I really appreciate all you do for the community and for books like mine and others. And you work your ass off, and then you still find time for us. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. It's honestly, this is one of my favorite things to do. This is my nice little distraction from everything.
Yeah.
And you guys do such cool shit, and I can't I can make a mean hand turkey, as you have seen.
Yes, I love it.
That's about all I got. I don't have much more. So I just want to say thank you so much, Vaughn, for coming on. I love talking to you. I love having you on. It's always a blast. We're gonna have to do like a horror stream or something one time and just talk about horror shit, because
I'd love that.
Right? It needs to happen for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank everyone in the chat. You guys are always just the most amazing people ever. You make this an entertaining as hell show, that's for damn sure. And if you have not, and I'm gonna have a very hard time talking to you, but if you have not already gone and backed Monster MD, aside from me hating you just a little bit, I'm gonna need you to go fix that right now. And I will drop the link once again in the chat. Because that needs to happen for sure.
We are really close to 72,000. Feeling good about it.
Yeah, you are. For sure.
And everybody who's already backed, if you liked what you see in the sketchbook and you want to grab it without adding any cost to your shipping, I will drop you the link. So contact me via Indiegogo, and I will send that link over. I am a little concerned about that because some people told me they found my response in some folders, or some people are saying they haven't gotten a response at all, but I know I've been very, on my phone, even if I'm like busy trying to respond to everyone. So let's make sure it happens and we get you your sketchbook, guys. And if you need to bug me again, that's cool. I'll make it happen. But I really appreciate the fans. Without you guys, I'm nothing. I wouldn't be getting to do this. And now because of you guys, I'm going to get to keep doing this. I'm going to make even better Heidi and Wyatt stories that I think you're going to love. And thanks. Thanks for having me on, Shae.
Absolutely. Anytime. So for everybody out there, go back. The link's in the description. Make sure you follow Vaughn. Follow me if you don't already. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We've been sitting at our sub count for a while now. And it would be nice to see a bump somewhere. But honestly, we like having you guys come out. We like the interaction. And y'all are fucking awesome. So thank you so much for being here in the chat. Thank you so much, Vaughn, my main man. And we will catch you guys next time.